Alright, let's do this. Hey everyone, SolarPrimal here, welcome back. So if you could tell by the title of this video, I went to my first tournament, specifically Salt Flats, that is held in Calgary. So yeah, it was my first one to go to. It was a very interesting experience, relatively positive one, like I say 90% positive. I had a couple myths about certain things, but again, that's what they call it, Salt Flats, so that 10% is just me being salty about something. Those of you that don't know, salty just means kind of pissed off about something. Yeah, I guess, especially when it comes to something about gaming. I definitely felt that with one thing, but I'll get to that. So some of you also may be wondering, what is Salt Flats? Salt Flats is actually a gaming tournament that gets held, from what I understand, every year. They do other events during the year, but that is usually the main one. And this year they had quite a plethora of events going on. There was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate singles, they had doubles, I think they had Squad Strike? I don't know. I have to look at the schedule again. Yeah, they actually had Squad Strike, so that's cool. I'll just read it off my phone here. So they also had Halo 1 2v2, they had Pokemon Go, Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, Blaze Blue Cross Tag, I don't know what that is, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and they even had Super Smash Bros. Melee singles and doubles. So I was actually really surprised to see that Super Smash Bros. Melee was still, let's say, relevant in this kind of environment. But I guess that shouldn't be a surprise considering like Halo 1 was one of the tournaments that was going on. Then they had a mystery one, which was incredible. It was like a different game every round, and I saw games I've never seen in my life. Some of them were new, and some of them anything you could play outside of an arcade. So I thought that was really cool. Splatoon 2, so that was really fun to watch because I actually don't know how to play Splatoon, but I have a couple friends that were competing and I got to kind of learn the game while I watched, so, or at least how some of the game modes play, and it was really fascinating. It was pretty much like watching a sporting event because they did that in teams, so that was, yeah, it was fun. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I competed in as well, and then Rivals of Aether, which I'm not familiar with that one, but if it has a tournament following, then it must be some sort of relevance. Well, of course, Mario Kart had a following too, but it was a total of 20 people versus Super Smash Bros. Singles, which was over 200 people, not counting the people that weren't able to make it due to weather, but that's just how it is. So I'm gonna quickly just talk about the bad first, just to get it out of the way, because it's really small, and then I just want to gush about the good. So no surprise to me, I didn't make it very far in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Singles. My first match, I won by forfeit because my opponent didn't show up. Which is, some people are like, hey, that's cool, that's a free win. And people like me are like, yeah, but I didn't really earn that and I actually kind of wanted the practice a little bit. Which, if you watch any video about what do you do at your first tournament, they all tell you, jump into doing some friendly battles and just either get involved with the community and practice. I didn't do that. Kind of wish I did, but oh well. But then as for my second match, I had to wait a little bit because my opponent for my second match was still in the middle of doing the doubles tournament, and turned out that once they were done, this guy was the one half of the team that won, and then later on for the singles tournament, that guy came in first place, so I'm not super upset that I got beat by that guy because obviously he's good, and this is my first tournament, so I'm not expecting much out of it. And then of course for my second match, because I got bumped down to the losers bracket, I didn't win. That's just simple it is, and then that's it. You know, your 2 losses and that's it. You're done. But that's just how those tournaments work, and you know, truth be told, I actually thought I was going to do worse than that. I thought I was going to get put in the losers bracket after my first match, and then out on the second one, so I was technically out on my third one, so I did a little better than I thought I was going to do. Yes, it's a negative mindset, but I'm also going in super blind and not knowing anything. I didn't even know how to do the stage picking or anything like that, so it was all new for me. But even though I lost, I actually had fun. So it's a bad and a good. So we'll kind of take both. As for the other bad, this is where I get a little salty, is from the Mario Kart tournament. Because I went in with a lot more confidence than I did with the Super Smash Bros. Tournament. And I even was practicing for like most of the day. You do 4 races, and then in the end, if you're the top 2, you move on. If not, yeah. And obviously I didn't move on. But my biggest problem is that I didn't actually check what my controls were set to. And for some reason, whoever played on that system last, they had gyro controls on. And I didn't practice that. I could, truth be told, I'm tooting my own horn here. I can adapt a little bit, but I definitely shine better on just the standard controls. And because I didn't get to do that, I was having troubles. Like the first 2 races, I was hitting everything. Like I was hitting walls, I was hitting obstacles. It was a really bad time. And then, so by the 3rd race, that's when I was like, I can't have gyro controls on, do I? And then I was using my Powerade controller, which comes with motion controls. So I just started to lean a little bit myself, and then my character would turn, and I was like, oh damn it, I got motion controls on. I did speak up about it to the other competitors, and they basically ignored me. And then we proceeded on to the 4th race, which I did a little better. I actually got a solid 3rd, I believe. I don't quite remember. It was definitely a challenge because it was, I think it was Mute City or Big Blue. It was one of the Captain Falcon stages or F-Zero stages, and oh boy, that was rough with gyro controls, especially if you're not used to it. So ultimately I came out empty-handed in terms of that, but those were all just the bad out of it. Overall, Salt Flats was actually a really good experience for me because I got to talk with a lot of people that were really into the same games as me, or just in the gaming in general, so that was really cool to be in that environment. And just to see like so many others that are really passionate about games that I liked as well was really cool to see. And just like the people running it definitely enjoy doing what they're doing, or they definitely enjoy being involved in what they're doing. Quite a few of the people running Salt Flats themselves actually participate in some of the tournaments, which was actually really cool, because then you see that it's not just someone or a group of people that are just like, hey, cool, yeah, we're gonna bring people in. They like playing the games themselves too. They have a passion for the same kind of games. And they had cool things going on, like there was a raffle going on for a bunch of cool prizes. Each competition had like a specially made trophy from Galaxy Gear. Those of you that know who they are, cool. If you don't, go check them out. If you're into like D&D and heck anything nerdy that's tabletop related, they got some cool stuff there. It's not sponsored, just they were there and I've seen them before and stuff. I've been like, oh, I should get that someday. I was like, and I look at my wallet and it's like, nah, not this month. They had some other cool stuff there. They actually had like a VR headset, like an Oculus Rift setup, where you played that little lightsaber game, you hit the blocks with the music, and that was fun to watch. There was actually a video online of Lunar trying it out. I didn't get to try it out, but she got to try it out and it was very entertaining to watch. At one point on the first day, they actually started selling GameCube controller buttons. I have mine somewhere. Oh, they're right here. So, like, I got red ones, because duh, of course I'm gonna get red ones. And these are actually really cool. Like, obviously the B buttons can be the exact same, but some of the C-stick and the joystick buttons actually have that little bit of rubber on them, so that's actually really cool. You can customize your GameCube controller if you got the right skirt. Wow, that really blends in my shirt right there. Anyways, Lunar also got ones that were glow in dark. Actually, you can see them in the background right there. Hey. No, wait, yeah, they're actually right there. Huh. Oh well, I'm weird. And then on the second day, no, just at random, just out of nowhere, they called anyone that wanted to participate to do rock, paper, scissors for a really fancy gaming chair. And by God, the entire hall like came over and we all got lined up to face off against one opponent, and there was just a big chain of people to play rock, paper, scissors all at the same time. Truth be told, I was out on the first round for that as well, but it's because I'm a little too humble. I know, humble brag, right? Like, I can get into technicalities about it. We were supposed to do rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and the guy in front of me did rock, paper, scissors, and then showed his hand like that, and I was already still doing rock, paper, scissors, and I was about to shoot, and he had already like that, and I was like, nope, timing's off there. You want to do that again? And he just kind of did. In my head, I was like, I got a game chair at home. I don't care. And then I reached out and said, all right, congrats, see ya. And then wandered off. Lunar got to the top 14 people, which is cool. She's apparently really good at rock, paper, scissors. Not good enough to win that gaming chair, but you know, it's not like she needed it. But that would have been cool too. But speaking of giveaways, Lunar actually did win something out of that raffle. She got herself, hold on one sec, I'll go get it. It's just over there. It's a chair, it's that, I swear. So she had won herself a Smash Bros. Ultimate GameCube controller. So that's cool. So now she has this one. I have the one for the Wii U. So that's cool. I don't know if we'll custom those ones. I don't know. I got this weird thing about not wanting to custom original controllers that I've had forever. I don't know. We'll see. See if I get confident enough about that. What was even funnier though was that she had won that, but just before we left, there was a couple of people we were talking with, and one of the people that was practicing Mario Kart with me, they had bought a controller just so that they could participate in the Mario Kart tournament, but they didn't own a Switch. So all they had to do was buy a controller because the event doesn't promise to provide controllers. You're expected to bring your own, which is fine, which I'll get into a topic about in just a sec, but Lunar got herself another PowerA controller, but this one's wired. So with, you know, if you don't plug it in, then it just doesn't work. It's just as light as the regular PowerA controller without batteries, and it pretty much looks the same. Her green one is over there, but you know, there she goes. She got that controller, and she won herself the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate GameCube controller. So there you go. But speaking of controllers, this was actually one of the most fascinating things I noticed about the tournament. When people brought their own controllers, they were their own controllers. People had custom GameCube controllers. Either they just decked them out in stickers, or they had custom shells or different buttons, kind of like that. And that was really cool to see. Like, it's almost like in an anime when you go to any sort of competition where like an anime is involved, everyone has their unique thing and it's theirs. It's not like, you know, I was the only one I saw that had this, but I probably wasn't the only one, but definitely for Smash Bros. I was the only guy that had this. I'm about 99% sure, because everyone else was using GameCube controllers. Truth be told, because people just really like the feel of GameCube controllers. I may start using GameCube controllers because I did have a bit of a disadvantage about trying to work with this with Smash Bros. But actually that was part of what I learned, was how to disconnect this thing really quickly. Connecting it also took a little bit of effort because if it's not synced to the system, then unfortunately you need to use a Joy-Con that is synced to that console to get this connected. So it definitely delayed things as opposed to just plugging into one of those GameCube controller adapters, and you know, that was probably the easier part. Either way, that was part of the learning experience I had from Salt Flats. Overall, it was a good time. I got to hang out with a lot of the Calgary video creators because they had a table there, and so that was actually really nice to be able to hang out with all them, and even Twitch Calgary, at least the guy that's been heading that was there, and we actually helped him out unlock basically all the characters over that weekend for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which wasn't a bad idea, which is to bring a Switch with no characters on and then have people that really like playing Super Smash Bros. To help unlock them, which that worked out for him in more than one way because he actually needed all the characters unlocked. So what better way to do that than to bring it to a gaming tournament. I mentioned before they also had Pokemon Go, and you're like, how do you competitively play Pokemon Go? There is a way to do it now, and it was interesting to watch from afar because you just see people staring down at their phone going, yeah, that was what that was about. But overall, that was my experience with my first time at Salt Flats. I do intend on going to another one because I had fun. I really did. Like, despite me not getting very far in the tournament aspect of it, I still had fun and I did learn a lot of things. We'll see if I actually get better with some of these other games. Again, I feel very confident in Mario Kart. Just bad circumstances, and it is what it is. It definitely got me thinking about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I've always played Captain Falcon, but maybe I should open up a little bit more. Maybe try out some other characters and see how I feel about them. But as you know, I did a video back when Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U came out, and I talked about my history with Super Smash Bros. So if you want to see that, I'll put a link somewhere, probably right here at the end of the video. So I'll just start leaning this way, but we'll see what the future holds. I am still looking forward to everything, so we'll see what happens. And if you're ever wondering, it's actually worth going to these tournaments. Even if you're not going to compete, it's worth just going, just for the experience. See how a tournament actually works, and gives you the opportunity to hang out with other people that like what you like. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, anyways, this video's probably gone on pretty long, so I'm gonna end it off for now, and until then, you guys, this is SolarPrimal signing out, and bye for now.